on the other match day, then you're probably not making the progress that you want. So it's a hard time for them, but I think they have to take each game as it comes. Don't really look at the log up as much because the numbers are not going to be in your favor. Just focus on your game and try to make sure that you get the best of each and every game as it comes.
Okay, so let's look into how they've performed in the last 5 games. These two teams, remember, we started off with the home team Triangle. It has been a very disastrous campaign, but they are looking into survival. Now they've got a new manager, so we're just going to be looking into that and also how they plan into attacking the last remaining games. The new manager bounce is actually coming into effect, and they believe that it's actually going to work out. So that's for Triangle. Hard Rock versus Triangle, a surprise win. 2-1 win against a team that was at some point the second on the log table. They lost to Agama, and then they lost to Rentals again by 1-0. Drew against another big team that is Caps United 2-0, and then they lost to Chicken Inn by 2-1. But I mean, against the big teams, they've done the unthinkable. They've actually put out some decent results.
It's normal, we all know what they offer. But obviously, the biggest win against Hard Rock, I think it's a moral booster for them.
Yep.
It's going to give them something out of it. And coming into this game, I think they're also carried going into the next game with that victory. I think it was very important, and it came at the right time and a very good platform. So, and today they're looking forward, at least against Ngezi as well. It's more similar, it's stronger. And they are also probably title contenders. So obviously they know how to manage it. They know how to approach such games. And I think Kaka has got that ability. We have seen him in so many games. He tries by all means, especially again when he was here at Triangle. Most games he survived last season. It was against big clubs. He won against big clubs, and it was very important for them.
So now, your screens, that is Ngezi Platinum beating Herentials by 1-0, and it was Ralph Kaondera. We thought Ralph Kaondera was going to be immaculate in that game, but then we are looking into Ngezi Platinum that managed to edge them when they played at Baobab. Now you're looking to Caps United against Ngezi as well at Faro Stadium. It was another draw. Then Ngezi beating Chicken Inn by 3-2, another exceptional win. And then against ZPC Kariba, a 1-0 draw. Yep. And then you're looking into Scotland, where they lost by 2-0. And then one thing that has been also happening for Ngezi is that the big games, they seem to put up a decent result, and then when they come against maybe the lower teams, they struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Mutweko will be quite pleased with those draws in those last 5. I think this is what dragged them off the title contention a little bit. They're still in there, they're still hanging in there, but they haven't been able to capitalize on those home games where they've probably lost some extra 2 points that they could have been capping on. They're a very decent team, well structured, if you ask me, and those quick transitions from the midfield. And I heard Coach Mutweko saying that he was copying the transition style that he was saying at the World Cup. So they always like to put it fast. That's why they scored those number of games. They've actually been able to win 10, draw 10. So on those 10 draws, they probably would have wanted more wins than draws that they got. So I think that's just one key area that the coach will be looking at this afternoon.
And then we get to look into the head-to-head, how many games they've played, or especially looking into the last 5, and who has come out victorious. And we have looked into the last 5 games these two teams have played. The last time they played, it was a 1-0 draw, and Chirwa, who scored for Ngezi, is not starting this afternoon. But Jogi is also starting for Triangle. And then you look into the one they played in 2023. Remember, they got relegated in 2024. It was another draw. Then Ngezi won in the reverse fixture. And then in 2022, it was Ngezi who won, and the reverse fixture, it was a goalless draw. Ngezi has come out victorious in the number of games they've faced each other in the head-to-head, which means it's probably a boost in confidence against this Triangle side.
Yeah, it's if you look at it, it looks like Ngezi, they've got an upper end in this fixture, but it's a different one. Today's game, it's more like a survival for Triangle. They need to pull up, and considering the very good game last weekend. So obviously they are coming into this game knowing what they are going to face. Yeah. And of course, also Ngezi, they don't want to lose here because they know they are also chasing the top 4. They need to stay up there so that they are contenders, they remain contenders. So actually altogether it's going to be a good game, and obviously if you are into this situation as a coach, you always want a positive result.
Yep.
And you always push push your boys to do the best out of it, because it's a very important fixture.
I think just one thing, also Chief Justice, is that I think they will be quite confident because they haven't lost in the last 5 at home. They've been able to get a point and nothing less than that. But now the only issue here is that Triangle cannot afford to continue going on the drawing, right? Now they have to be fearless a little bit, just like they did at Hard Rock, playing away. And now they have to be going to be expressive more. Actually, if they can pull up another win this afternoon, I think that will really kickstart their survival run as well. I think it will be a brilliant win, but it's never going to be easy. Just like you said, that Ngezi just have a little bit of an upper hand when it comes to this fixture.
So now we are going to be talking about how this means in regards to how they finish the season. One team fighting for survival and another team just thinking they can go over the team at the top of the table and get maximum points and win the championship as they did in 2023. And now in your picture, that is the arrival for Triangle, the home team. And those are the players, not much being given in terms of the mood. We are just looking into how they might be approaching this one.
A little bit, I think, keeping it to themselves. I think that's the right thing to do. You don't want to get overconfident because of that win that you got at Hard Rock. You are starting again this afternoon. You are playing a different team altogether. You are playing at home. The fans have come through, but the fans also are expecting as well. It can be, to your advantage or even not to your advantage. So I like the approach that they have, and they do have the firepower. You're taking the likes of Kamsoko, who does have the experience. So it's a very decent team that can really show up and pull up a challenge.
Yeah, that's what we also wanted to talk about, Chief. The firepower they do have in the midfield. You talk of your Tabani Kamsoko, you talk of your Jogi up front, who has scored 5 goals in total this season. They're not a bad side. It's just that sometimes they fail to go over the finishing line.
I think, it's but let's see this half. Maybe they will do better. Especially, they are going for survival. But I've seen, through the warm-up, you saw the players, they're very good players. And also, I've seen they've added the former Bigita Minerals captain, Courage Bera. Is also a very good player. I think they've got enough ammunition for the game.
And that is Ngezi Platinum Stars are coming in. And also, a little bit of keeping it to themselves as well, not wanting to give so much. But then they do understand they have the better position in terms of winning this game, and we are looking into some of their star players. Marvelous Mkumba, who has been good offensively, both creative wise and also scoring in front of goal, and that's Machengeti. And you're looking into some players that have managed to do the beating. But I think a surprise so far for us has been seeing some of their star players, especially Mnemo, who hasn't started, considering that he has provided the more goals and more assists for Ngezi, and today he has been benched and is starting off on the bench.
Yeah, probably a tactical move there coming from Coach Mutuekuzewa. You were talking about the likes of Mukumba, you have Madana, I think they have an abundance of talented players in their team, and I think probably that's just a tactical approach. We'll see how the first half goes. I don't think Ngezi will keep anything to themselves. They would want to, on the first kick of the ball, try to get on top of the game as well. And it's going to be a little bit challenging because I think Coach Genesis Mangombe will want to keep it calm for Triangle. They want the game to run away from them. And so it's a very exciting tactical matchup that will be coming up in the first 45.
And then, Chief, one thing that you did talk about yesterday when we were covering another game that is FC Platinum, the Dynamos, was how the PSL needs to start looking out for the players. And this is what the Ngezi Platinum Star really did conclude by saying, we have been playing back-to-back games and now we need energy in the midfield. That's why you see some players are being introduced and some have been benched, and then that's the warm-up for the home team. And I think it's affecting almost each and every team, especially those that have to be traveling from far and wide. And then this is your concern in terms of how many players are going to be benched. Sometimes it's not a tactical issue, but you just need fresh legs up into the field of play.
Yeah, somehow, you need to manage that, like any other team. It's important to look at the boys. They played over the weekend. They are playing midweek. They'll go, they are not used to it. But see, also there are upcoming cup games. So it's very important, like what Mutweko Ziva said, he is bringing in fresh legs so that he prepares also for the upcoming games and also rest some key players in certain moments. Because if you look at the likes of Tanaka playing here, with the speed, with the look at the level of the grass, I think on the it's too high. And obviously you drain himself and it accumulates fatigue, At the same time, you as a manager, as a coach, also you bring in everything. Just try other players, other combinations, so that wherever you're going, you are also equipped with everyone is fit and looking at the situation.
Okay, and that's Jordan Pedra, who has been out for some time, and Genesis Mangombe did say that he has brought him in. They do have quite a number of suspensions, and that's Tabari Kamsuko, a veteran in his own regard, played for the Warriors at some point. He has been there. He has seen it all. There was a scare when they played against Cape United that maybe that concussion was going to keep him out. But he's a strong player and is back to playing his best football despite the age as well.
Those are the players you are looking at if you're Triangle. Those are the players that are going to carry you through the Sefafao journey. But you also have to take good care of him. As you're saying, he's an aging player, but his talent is unmistakable because he has been there, he has the experience, and he's a tactician himself. But I don't want to put too much pressure on him. If I'm a coach, I have to give him the minutes that he has to run, and also just make sure that when time comes, you make those changes. So it's also about managing the squad that you have, like you were saying. And that's exactly what I think Coach Genesis Mangombe has to be doing.
Of course, it's about managing the talent that you do have. Remember, we have the Chibugu Super Cup also coming in and the Monomutapa Cup also coming. So it's about how you manage those players. Now, Ngezi, in your picture, going through their warm-up and just making sure that the players that have been picked up to start do justice to the core. Remember, they have a young squad. They have a very fantastic squad, the likes of Madana Ngaindi, the likes of Marvelous Mkumba. I mean, every time he gets the ball, everyone gets to talk about it. It's a pity that they went for 15 games unbeaten, and then after that, they just started to drop points. But just looking into that squad, very fantastic altogether.
Yeah, it's good energy in the team. You can see the way they do things, the way they play. That's Castigo, one of the key players for them. He is versatile. He can play any position at the back. So it's important as well for a team to have such players. And for them, I think going 15 games unbeaten, it was good for them. They showed what they have.
Story,
yeah, it tells a story. It shows they have got something in them. But they needed more experience. And also remember they are on a ban. They cannot bring in new players and so forth. So,
but they've done incredibly well.
Really well, I think, and they also maintained their squad, and they are not far away. And they've got this marvelous. It's marvelous to watch, all the time.
It's quite impressive, really, just because if you look at the number of players that they lost to the likes of Cape United, all the players that were
probably the whole team.
The whole team. And to go back to your structures, to go back to your junior teams, and to be able to be where they are in the league, I think it does tell us that if all of our clubs would want to do those projects, that would actually give you those fruitful results, just like what Ngezi have been able to do.
Okay, so now we have to switch over to the coaches and hear what they have to say before the game. Important points to pick up. So let's hear what the coaches have to say.
It's not going to be easy, but we have been planning for this. And you see where we are on the log. I think when playing at home, we need maximum points. So we'll try and do our best so that we upset the opponents. We have Pedra, who is also coming in for Jaden Wachkoka. It's the only change we have at the moment.
A very important match, a very difficult match, playing away from home, and also playing against a team that is fighting for survival in the Premiership. But the mentality in us is the same. We have to take the game to Triangle and try to produce a positive result as we aim to proceed doing well as a team. This is very important for us. We've got our own objectives that are totally different from Triangle. So we came here with a positive mind to do better than what we did in the first leg, so that we continue with our objective, winning week in, week out, or producing positive results every match that we play. It's what we aim always. So we are here to play our good game, and at the same time to collect positive result.
Different mentality from the two managers, but important points to pick up. One is about survival. And if you're actually listening to Ngezi, it's all about expressing himself and making sure the team stays energized. But from a few moments from now, the teams are going to be leaving the dugout. But then it's all up to you. We then get to talk about the predictions. The first leg, it was a 1-1 draw. And we are talking about Chirwa, who has been very instrumental for Ngezi Platinum, was part of the goal scorers as well. And then Jogi for Triangle. He's still in the lineup, but they do have a fantastic bench as well. You look at the, Talent Chawapiwa, you look at the, Paga, the Uricobs. So if you are going to be talking about the bench, it almost looks like Triangle have the better one. And then let's then link that with the predictions.
Good experience, especially if you look at Triangle. It's very good in terms of experience and approach. I think they're going to do it better. And obviously he knows this, the magnitude of the game they are going to face. I see them, if they score, especially if they score early in the 20th minute, I think they will win this game by 2-1.
2-1. And to you, Maxwell?
Yeah, it's a difficult game for both teams. I think it's not going to be easy for any of the two teams. I think it's going to be all about the approach from Triangle playing at home, trying to manage the pressure and also the expectation coming through. Ngezi Platinum, a brilliant team. They have the stars, they have everything. But I think if you just look at that 2-1 perfect win that they got against Hard Rock Triangle, they'd want to keep that with a win today or even a draw. I think it's probably going to end in a 1-0 draw. 1-0
draw. And then with competition football coming back, is there going to be a different approach in terms of how these two teams, how they're going to be approaching this game and the next games that are going to be coming, Chief?
Yeah, obviously, each and every team has got their own tactics. You are facing a different man altogether. And obviously, the approach should be different depending on who you are playing. Remember, even if you play against the likes of FC Platinum, they keep the ball. The likes of Scotland, they are leaders. So your approach should be better and different in every game. So it's the same as they are going to apply here. There's a lot of energy which is going to be implied by Ngezi.
For me, I think Triangle now, they don't care about those cup competitions. They're just throwing everything that they want
to survive.
On the survival. Don't care about the cups come next year if they can survive this season. So I just think it's going to be exciting in the last round, now going into the final round of the season, as well as we look forward to the end of it.
So, gentlemen, thank you. We are going to be coming back for the half-time talk where they do have to share about what happened in the first 45 minutes. But for now, the players are about to grace the stage, and that means it's done for us as we switch over to commentary with Sandra Magaye and Prosper Sani. So please do enjoy the game as much as we enjoy giving it to you.
Another day on the road for ZBC, but not for this side. 2 games of the past match days, they have been playing away from home, but this time around they are at home. Welcome along. We're in Triangle, Gibbo Stadium to be specific. We'll have Triangle FC who are going to be taking on the former champions in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League coming in from the 2023 season. That is Ngezi Platinum. This game is a must-win for either side. 2 different agendas on the menu, but the goal is getting the 3 points. Triangle fighting relegation. They want to make sure with their new coach, Genesis Mangombe, try and get the 3 points. For Ngezi Platinum, it's a matter of finishing, giving the best finish for this 2026 season. And the title is not far from where it could be reached as we're looking at some of the games that are being previously played. The teams at the top of the table haven't been that consistent. So the dream is not yet far. They can still do it, but they're going to take it one game at a time. So this one, it sees Triangle FC, Triangle United, take on Ngezi Platinum. Now they stand for the singing of the national anthem. Two sides confident coming in from match day 23. A 2-1 victory for Triangle away from home at Hard Rock Chawanda Stadium, and a 1-0 victory for Ngezi against Hirentos at home. So today they face each other in an encounter that is a must-win for this side. And for analysis, joined by Prosper Chanu. Big game ahead of us. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, good day, Sandra, and good afternoon to all the viewers across the country. The stage is set, and I'm looking forward to it here in the Lowveld. Two sides with contrasting ambitions. For Triangle, they've enjoyed a very difficult season so far. Just 3 wins all campaign. Simply isn't good enough, no doubt about it. And there's no surprise that they sit rock bottom of the league standings. And they've also chopped and changed coaches, which hasn't helped their matters in terms of stability. But Genesis Mangombe is the man in charge. He's been entrusted with the mission, and it's only one mission for Triangle: survive relegation. For Ngezi, well, they arrive to Gibbo, a pretty settled side. They're sitting comfortably in 4th position and looking to push on towards the top of the standings. So lots to play for this afternoon in the Lowveld, and looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Ngezi Platinum Stars 4th on the log table after 23 games. They have managed to bag 10 wins, 10 draws, and only 3 losses. So they have 40 points, 12 points behind Scotland. But this is the home side. Triangle bringing on a 2-5-3 formation. Coach Genesis Mangome bringing on in the backline Chinani. Horden is the only change that they have brought on to this game. Makopa as well supporting him in the back, and they have congested the middle of the park with the likes of Karembo and their captain Kamsoko, Bera Zeka and Limandeke as well. And in the front, Chatuluka Munsaka, and then the lone wolf in front is Stephen Joki, who is now on 5 goals for this side. So looking forward, maybe he might add more today. For Ngezi Platinum, it's a 3-6-1 formation. For Kumbirai Mutwe Kuziva and the back, they have got Marion Chang as well as the back 3, Kashitigu Moyo, the captain, and Karengesha. They've got Madananga Katumba in the middle of the park, so they understand what's at stake. They know that the one that controls the middle of the park might get away with a win in this game. Looking at the formation, how do you think this game is going to pan out?
Well, Triangle have to go for it. They're playing at home, and they find themselves at the bottom of the standings, and they are the ones that need to take the initiative in this encounter. It's a decent crowd in. It's a community that loves their football here in the Lowveld, and they're still believing that they can turn it around. For Ngezi, we heard the coach alluding to the fact that they're not here to make up the numbers. They're also going to be positive. They also have ambitions of their own. So I'm expecting a proper slog at the start. There is Genesis Mangombe. He would have enjoyed it at the start.
And that's the kickoff whistle for today's encounter. It is a Thursday midweek encounter, and we'll continue match day 24. Yesterday was another beauty to behold as games were played and matters won. Things change on the log table, but the story continues. Who will win the title this time around? And in some of the conversations is Ngezi Platinum, who still have a chance. And in this game, they are trying to go for the attack first. They are on the side that is attacking from left to right, dressed in white. And the home side, Triangle, dressed in all blue. They'll be attacking from right to left of your screen.
Yeah, that's where Elson operating down the left-hand channel for Ngezi. He did score in that 1-0 win against the Rentals. He's a lively attacker. How hot is it this afternoon? I think that's the first thing that they have to contend with the players out there. Just looked at the temperature. It's 28 degrees, but I think it feels warmer than that. And no doubt that they'll be gasping for the big ones out there, the players. Conditioning, so important in the low veld.
Yeah, it feels a bit hot, but the weather forecast tells us that it's going to get a little bit cooler later on. They just have to hold on for the meantime. But a game with a lot of risk. You just have to make sure that you give it your all. For Ngezi Platinum, 3 changes, but Triangle trying a little bit of something, but it ends up being a goal kick. That is Mutwe Wakuziwa, the coach for Ngezi Platinum. He is a man assisted by Clifford Jairo, who made a name for himself after helping FC Hunters gain promotion into the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. So it's more of a project that we all have to work together, bringing on the old and the new. Mutwe Wakuziwa made his name at Rentals as well, starting with them from Division 1. So they know what it takes to start from the bottom going up. And there's another one for Triangle. Good turn to play it back. Lays it onto his feet, but didn't get enough power on the ball. But quickly, all he had to do, Stephen Jogi was the player that set him up on that challenge to try and maybe get a goal early on in the game. But what a moment for Triangle. They know exactly this is their backyard after all.
Yeah, a couple of defensive mistakes early on. I think the chief challenge there is it's a little bit thick underfoot. So the ball is heavy on the turf. So the weight of passing has to be spot on. And they come on the attack again, Triangle. They know the conditions and they're using it to very good effect. They've had a couple of quick early chances and they could have been 1-0 up early doors.
Yeah, they are trying to create something, and it's the 3 players forward, Limandeke, Stephen Jogi, as well as Aaron Zeka, that are stepping up to the podium, trying for an early goal in this encounter. Chatuluka from the far side ends up being a goal kick. It is Gibbo Stadium in Triangle, just 25 kilometers from Chirezi. And you know, these names synonymous with sugarcane. They are called the Sugar Boys for a reason. Hopefully, they'll be able to cook something sweet for the fans. Few of them that have managed to step into Gibbo this afternoon. There's the first throw in there for Ngezi. The foul committed by the captain, Tabani Kamsoko. Gets a word from the referee, but the linesman coming in just for positioning. It's always important. The players always try to gain a few ground as we get the replay. There's a bit of a high boot from Kamsoko.
Yeah, the physical duels are going to be important in this one. Kamsoko taking no prisoners on that occasion and trying to win the ball. But an opportunity now for Ngezi to get it in the box and try and get someone at the end of it.
Bashwan Karengesha, he was responsible for that. It's still in play and delivered quite nicely, but parried away by Chinani. Still in possession, Ngezi. Not just in possession, but they are controlling this challenge. Onside. All he has to do, give it a bit of a lift into the box. But Triangle had the numerical advantage in the box. They're still playing from this near side. Marvelous Mukumba. They get a throw in. Mukumba unable to get it past Munsaka. Now flagged. There's a challenge there to slow things down. Now looking at the record, head-to-head record between these two sides. The first game ended at 1-1 draw as we get a replay of what happened in that challenge. Munsaka was able to just get it out a bit, but then in trying to recover Edison McDonald, that's when the whistle blew. But head-to-head a draw in the last game that they played back in April. Now it's a question of have they done their homework quite well? We've got Mutue Kuziwa. He was on the technical bench for that side, but Genesis Mangome was elsewhere. But this time around, he is in charge of this side, trying to get them out of the relegation zone. He did it once back in 2019, helping the Miracle Boys stay in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. Now it's a question of whether you'll be able to do it this time around, but it will take a miracle. There's been a lot of rotation of the ball. Right by the corner flag, good back pass into space. Quickly, not a change of ownership, but a slow in the progression of the game.
Yeah, it's such a difficult turf to play at Gibbo Stadium. It's so dense. I was out there earlier and you could just see your foot deeping into the tall grass, and you can see both sets of players searching for the right weight of path that's required for this sort of a surface. I think we will see a lot of aerial balls getting whipped into the box because the ball will travel quicker in the air than on the ground.
And also a bit of water would have helped if they had watered the field before play. Poor distribution there by Chinani. Is he going to be quickly punished for that? And it is the same player, Joel Munsaka, who's stepping on to defend for this side. Karengesha Ashwin, he's been fed the ball, but it hasn't been easy to penetrate that defense. Mugariri with a long throw, delivered, but cleared right back to where they started. It's a matter of defending in this opening minutes of the game, and it is another free kick for Ngezi Platinum, who are trying all they can to keep up with the elites in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League 2026 season. A victory against the Rentals. Before that, it was a draw against Caps United, and then a 3-2 victory over Chickenen, a draw against ZPC Kariba, and a 2-0 defeat by Scotland. That is their record in the last 5 games. So it is a must win if they are to have any consistency as we enjoy this last part of the season.
Yeah, I think they can also consider themselves an elite team. Ngezi Platinum, they did win the title back in 2023 under the leadership of Tekshor Chiragu, who since moved on. He's now in charge of Caps United, and they've also gone on a cup run in the Chibuku Super Cup. So they have been there and thereabouts, and now Mutue Kuziwa entrusted with this project, and I thought they've done it right. 4th position, there's no shame in that. They do know how to pick up points, and for them it's just a case of continuing to keep knocking on the door and building on from the good work that Take Short Chirag we started with this project.
Keeping up with the project that was started. It's always important to always get the best out of the players. That sets you apart as a great coach. And just looking at that record for Triangle coming into this game, they played 2 away games. It was a 2-1 victory over Hard Rock, and also a defeat by Agama as well. Another defeat by Hirentals, a draw against Caps United that most certainly required a lot of effort, but they stepped up to the occasion. And then 2-1 defeat by Chicken Inn. Here's the replay of what happened there. And it's a free kick for Ngezi. Will it be? And there's that lift. Was able to single out his partner there, Justin Ndaki. He couldn't stay on his feet. Kachitigu Leslie is coming in from a suspension back into the starting lineup. One of the 3 changes made in this game, as well as Mweha Elson, who didn't start in the last game, and also Gwena Adam, who was on the bench in the last game. So these are the 3 changes that were made for this game.
Yeah, they're starting to take control of this one. Ngezi, they've got Madananga and Katumba in midfield. They can play. They're ball players. And you can see with their shape that they're keeping it tight as we see Triangle on the offensive now.
Limandeke gets a corner from that one. But good sneaky run. Caught them sleeping. And he was almost getting away with it. Now it's, you felt that he had played the corner. But he was placing it by the corner arc. And it's being pushed back by the center referee. So now the corner kick is going to be taken. Katumba Brooklyn trying to be a menace. And then it's delivered. Too close. Just needed someone to get it into the back of the net. But it was good defense. I was about to say not out of it yet. And that seems to be the situation. Scrambling to just get it as far away from their 18 area as possible. And this time around, a bit of composure. Marion Chang.
Yeah, concerns for Ngezi and that big line marshaled by Polite Moyo and Kashtigu. You can just sense the desperation with the Triangle. They are not dying wondering. They're taking the initiative and going for it. They have had a couple of chances. And all of a sudden, they've got another free kick opportunity in good range. You wouldn't think that they're a side that are languishing at the bottom of the log. They are taking it forward. And a definite foul there on the exciting midfielder Aaron Zeka. And dead ball opportunity now for the Sugar Boys, who are desperate to move out of relegation. They want top flight football, these parts. And it's these sort of games that you have to prove that you belong at this level of the game.
Genesis Mangombe, Kaka, nervy moments. Karembo Aziz behind the ball. Will it be their captain who will take this one? Tabani Kamsoko. And it is Tabani straight into the wall. As they try to rotate the ball. Trying to play it wide. But dispossessed in the process. Assessing for some options there. Mukumba Marvelous. Now they're knocking the ball around. 15 minutes played in this encounter. And it is Triangle United 0, Ngezi Platinum 0. The top 4 side being held at the back banner by a team 18th on the log, bottom. But what can we say? They managed to get 3 points away from home at Chawanda against Hard Rock, a team that is now 3rd on the log table after that victory by Dynamos. And there are some fans adorning the red and the blue colors of Triangle. Not much. You can see that they are threatening to do something in the box, Triangle, but no sting to their approach. Not enough to send some shockwaves and disturb the stability. That backline for Ngezi. Monsaka. Long ball into the field. A push from behind, but advantage given. Played near to Limandeke, who plays it on for Zeka. And that's how it ends. Offside.
Yeah, Zeka. I beg your pardon, Limandeke has looked lively out there on the left wing. He's a Congolese international and brought the cross in. Keeper made a meal of it. Could have grabbed it at the first time of asking, but he's caused a corner now, and dangerous set piece that goes without any damage done. But I was just looking at the Triangle team sheet. They do have experience. You talk about the likes of Tabani Kamusoko. He's a true masterclass in midfield control, whether it's breaking up play or dictating the tempo. He brings composure. He's a former Warriors international as well. So they'll be looking to him, particularly in this encounter, to just control that midfield. There's Ngezi on the break now.
Ngezi on the move. Penetrates off the side post. A scramble to just get it into the back of the net. And then the final shot, quite disappointing there from Gwena Adam. But shocked. These fans could have been a moment. It is happening on either side where the attack is there, but the sting to confuse the opponent.
Yeah, good hands to save that Mwea attempt. It was definitely on target. And Simbarashe Chinani was man of the match in that 2-1 victory over Hard Rock. To the rescue for Sugar Boys. They are dangerous in transition, Ngezi. They can hurt you. And top save in the end to keep Triangle alive in this encounter.
Still alive, but for how long is the question. As Ngezi trying to go for another one. Lemandeke trying to evade Mugariri. Spencer. From attack straight to defense. And foul committed on that one.
Yeah, good hustle by Edson McDonald. Just trying to get on the end of that one. And did it illegally according to the man in the middle. Close shots, a 50-50 call, but the referee's decision is final. So always the man in the spotlight. But so far so good, he's handled it well.
And that is Enoch Tawanda Karembo. They call him Zim Pogba. Gets his inspiration from Paul Pogba, he says. And locally, one of his idols, the likes of Devon Chafa, who's gotten a lot of titles locally. So quite worthy of that honor. And he continues to play, coming in from FC Platinum, joining Maneka Diamonds. And now he's found his home at Triangle United.
Yeah, they're finding joy down the left-hand flank. Madamburo, Moya Elson getting a start, and he's repaying his coach's faith in him. He's creating the chances, and now they have a set-piece opportunity from the corner flag to try and find the opener here. They are the favored side. They are fourth, and looking to get maximum points here at Gibbo.
From the corner, doesn't collect on first attempt, and it's a goal for Katoomba Brooklyn. It is Ngezi Platinum Stars who celebrate. Ngwena Adam taking it from the corner. He's coming on. The last game he didn't start, but he gets a start. Talk about paying your coach for the trust. And then Katoomba Brooklyn delivers. The goalkeeper allowing it to fall out of his hands at a very, very crucial moment.
Oh dear, that's a definite howler from Simbarashe Chinani. Just as I was praising him for his man of the match performance in their last encounter. It was a harmless cross delivered in there. And he had one job to do, to try and snuffle it in thin air, and that's what it means for Mutweku Ziva. It's a bit of a gift there in the end for Katoomba Brooklyn. He couldn't believe his luck and was on hand to tap it in for the first goal of the afternoon for Ngezi.
Yeah, celebration even with the coach. That's a seal of approval that any player could ask for. Moments when it's a rebound is ready for the taking. Correctly position yourself. And that's Katoomba Brooklyn this afternoon. Now it's a change in tide. Ngezi Platinum are ahead by a single goal to nil. Now it's the home side, the Sugar Boys. How are they going to sweeten this bitter pill that they have just swallowed? Slowly, they are now finding a bit of footing. The euphoria for Ngezi Platinum might be catching on. They are getting into the spaces. Cross delivered by Munsaka.
Yeah, the last thing you wanted for a bottom side trailing was an unforced error. I mean, that's should be simple pickings for the keeper. He fumbled it, and Katoomba Brooklyn is not going to make any mistake from that distance. That's a regulation catch, isn't it, for a top flight goalkeeper?
Yeah, most certainly it is. Man of the match in that game against Simba Bora. He's a goalkeeper that has earned the trust for this Triangle side. But it's moments like this that shape the game. Now you're just hoping that something has to happen in front with the forwards and the strikers to even things out. It is the first half, match day 24, offside call. There's now a turnover. Saka with the lift. Just play it forward. Katoomba Brooklyn gets a header. And now the final clearance from the captain, Polite Moyo. Now it's Mwea Elson, who chooses to play it back. And And a misplaced pass that they quickly recover possession. Tumba, Brooklyn. He must be enjoying himself at this moment. Just a few minutes ago, he was able to find the back of the net. What a feeling, but Triangle fans continuing to sing as they support their side. They know that they still have minutes to play, but you just never know. Time flies. And when they create opportunities right in front of goal, a header that could have been deadly by Aaron Zeka just didn't go according to plan. Offside from where?
Yeah, problems here for the home side, the Sugar Boys. It's been a turbulent season for them. They've made as much as 3 coaching changes. Thomas Ruziwe did start them off. He struggled early. He was deemed surplus to requirements. And then they brought on Lloyd Chitembwe, who stepped in. And you would have thought the league winner with Caps United in 2026 would have settled the ship. But he also struggled. And they turned to Genesis Mangombe, the man who is no stranger to putting out fires. As we take a look at that opening goal once again, yeah, should be safe as houses for Chinani. Makes a meal of it. And Katumba Brooklyn just on hand to put it in the back of the net. So, early problems here for Triangle. And Mangombe, he joined the mid-season. He did a commendable job in 2023. He helped them secure safety in the top flight. He also went on a cup run in the Chibuku Super Cup. And it's a strong body of work, but he's finding his team trailing at the moment. And he needs to earn his money. He needs to inspire confidence. But they're still believing. The local fans still cheering on. They've turned up. Always beautiful, isn't it, when your community gets behind you, even when things are not going your way. So important for the 12th man to get behind the team. Local football needs a team here in the lower veld, and one would hope that Triangle can conjure something, not only from this match, but from the remaining ones, to stay up. But you got to earn it. You got to work hard for it.
Yeah, it seems as though the Eastern Region Division 1 Soccer League might be calling their name a little bit louder than the tenacity and the determination that they have to stay in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. 28 minutes played, and Ngezi Platinum, the visiting side. And we might be seeing some early changes in the first half. Not taking too long to decide the fate of the game. And it could be the players and the likes of Jaden Wachkoka. He once started on the bench. He's a player that was replaced by Pedra Warden. And we might be seeing him coming back on just in the first half. They need to sort out a few matters. And the fans, they are here. This place was built the capacity of 3,000 fans. And there's that substitution, the change, the sacrifice 24, Ariel Makopa, making way for Jaden Wachkoka just to strengthen that back line.
Yeah, he's gone back to his main centre-back, Jaden Wachkoka. The situation of the game has forced Mangombe into making early changes as early as the 30th minute. We did see yesterday when Dynamos were playing away at FC Platinum. Dynamo's coach Aristika Chioba also made an early change, bringing out Mujuru and bringing in Pio, and it worked to good effect. So perhaps a change that can inspire confidence for the Sugar boys. They need a win. They're desperate for it. Rock bottom and a goal down. Not an easy situation as FC Ngezi with a shot in anger.
Ngezi Platinum, they have tasted the back of the net and they'll try to want to get more. Karengesha Ashwin trying from a distance. He must be proud. Was a good effort after all as we get a replay. Brings it in a little bit to get space and good view and just goes for the target. Quite unfortunate, it went wide. It's when you say well tried, but that is not going to count at the end of the day. But fortunate for them, they can afford some of these experiments, but not for Triangle, as they fail to get across into the box. Pedra on a different trajectory once again. They know they can, they must. It's a matter of if they will. Throwing forward. And already overcooked, but not too far. Headed back. Hoping for the best. But no return on investment. It's a quick run on this near side. And a quick turnover. Munsaka moving away from his normal position to just try and assist. Bring on the extra legs for an attack in front. Able to stay on his feet. McDonald. Edson. Ngezi are playing like the home side.
Yeah, that's what a goal does to you. Gives an extra spring in your step, and he's been a handful. Edson McDonald. Quick, keen to get behind the defensive line and dart on a run. They have good options going forward in Ngezi. They're not going to settle for the one goal. They're going to look for more. As Triangle on an attack of their own. Stephen Jogi still believing. Trying to counter punch. He's won him. He's had a corner.
He has been a bit silent in this game. But now it is a beautiful afternoon here in Triangle. Gibbo Stadium. Triangle United take on Ngezi Platinum. And the home side trailing by just a single goal. And these are part of the attempts that they have been making. At first it was to open the scoring, but this time around they have to find an equalizer. And it's still in the process. They are still backing. Joel Munsaka takes it again from the corner. Might want to take a deep breath. Calls it in. And the goalkeeper of his line to try and beat the defenders, the strikers rather. But it ends up being another corner. So they are being hammered. These are opportunities that you will definitely cry the moment that you lose out. You don't get 4 times the opportunity and cause nothing in terms of havoc. Chatuluka, Tawanda, now it's a ball on the field of play. They try for the 4th time. And it ends up being a goal kick. What an opportunity. But the crosses in haven't been good enough.
the old Madalas, they've turned up. They would have seen many a battle here at Gibbo Stadium. It's a proud footballing team, the Sugar Boys, and fighting relegation. And the goal behind now with not long to go in the season. They need something, they need a spark to try and turn this season around.
10 games to go. If they can get 30 points, but that is a very tall order for a side that hasn't been that consistent. It's the big games that they really step up, and when you would expect them to get in something like an easy win, that's when they drop the ball. It's a switch to try and find Limandeke.
Yeah, the tempo of the game has slowed down, hasn't it? And I think it's the net effect of the humidity and the heat out there. It's definitely wearing down on the players. So you have to manage the game. You have to play the percentages. And similar to what we saw in the game in the World Cup final, Spain against Argentina. Possession. If you control possession, then you don't have to do a lot of running. But they are forging forward triangle. Yet another corner.
And it is placed. That was good placement from the corner. But it ends up being a goal kick with their captain there in Polite Moyo not happy with the response, and that was the delivery as we get a rewatch.
It was a good delivery. Swung in, right curler. She was asking for someone to latch onto it, but triangle attackers guilty of ball watching, as Mkumba Marvelous does well to convert the pressure for Madamburo, and they've won themselves a corner. So that's the game management we're talking about. It's just control possession and move away from your territory. Set piece opportunity now to try and get the tall defenders, Castigu and Polite Moyo on the end of it. The cross comes in. Chinani does well on that occasion.
As they try to build on momentum and pressure just to get a second goal in the first half. What a delight that would be for Ngezi Platinum. Lessens the pressure going into the second half of the game. So get another throw in that enemy territory. It's allowing the ball to take flight, be in no man's land for a moment. Then again, Mweha Elson invades that territory, but quickly subdued and contained in time for a quick change from defense to attack, and blocked in the process. Chatuluka, it is still in play, and there another attempt, scramble, but the flag had gone up for Aaron Zeka. But it had been coming. It is a moment, but disappointing. Chatuluka, he's the man that orchestrated all of this, making a run on that right side, getting the ball blocked, taking flight, landed still in the field, and then the final, trying to just get a goal on the ground. Aaron Zeka, they almost celebrated.
They did find the back of the net, the Sugar Boys, but the flag went up as they keep attacking here, and another flag that went up. But I tell you what, it's a bit of a contentious decision out there. The fans are remonstrating. There might have been a close shout of a penalty there. Might want to have another look at that. The home fans certainly feel aggrieved. They think that there was a case for a penalty, and then the flag goes up. So still 1-0. They're ahead in Ngezi, but Triangle, they're not giving this one up just yet. Still fighting.
Yeah, these are the kinds of temperatures so they can keep up for the longest, I believe. But flagged not once but twice. The second time around, it was Jogi who had made a quick run in, but Limandeke unable to find the ball. Now bringing down Tabani Kamsoko. Ngwena Adam a challenge. Now with about 3 minutes and a few seconds remaining in this first half. Can Triangle create something out of it? They have an opportunity. Trying to make a delivery into the box. Going at it alone. Straight into a defender. A bit of confusion there. Everyone scrambling for the ball. No order whatsoever. Now there's the signs of desperation. We're seeing the center referee also looking at the watch, and we get a second look.
Yeah, it's a proper midfield battle out there. But credits to Triangle. Despite the early goal, they are still pushing forward. As another header comes in there from Pedra Hordan. There they are, the locals. It's a bit of a community team. We are right in the middle of the compounds where the workers stay. They've dedicated this afternoon to try and cheer the Sugar boys to victory, but they find themselves trailing. And they have to find a way to try and get something. You can tell with the urgency as well that they're in a rush. They're desperate, like you rightfully called, Sandra. They want to equalize here.
Jogi to Chatuluka. It can be dangerous for Ngezi. That is Tawanda Chatuluka. He's making those dangerous deliveries into the box. Jogi as well was part of the build-up. Now they take it from the corner. And if you can feel the ambience, the fans are now singing a little bit louder now. These are the dying minutes of the game and not many to be added. All they need is a goal. The deliveries are good into the box. But it's just someone who can finish it off. That ability to set yourself apart. Give yourself a little bit of space to get a good connection with the ball. And then convert. A minute to go of the first 45, match day 24 in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. A lot has to change after today's game, especially for Triangle, who are on 14 points. If they're able to get 3 points from today's game, that brings them to 17. And that's all they need to get a little bit step closer to finding or surviving in this game and trying to go for goal. That is Aaron Zeka after a mistake by Marion Chang, the goalkeeper for Ngezi. Poor distribution, nervy moments just before we go for that break.
What was he thinking, Marion Chang? He made a mess of the clearance, and they are getting the chances, Triangle. As the board goes up, 2 minutes left in the first half. It's just not able to get the ball in the back of the net. But they have found a rhythm. The Sugar boys, that disallowed goal would have given them a nice little injection to keep believing. And the fans have found their voice in the stands. They think that this match is not over by the shouting. Yes, they did concede, but they do have what it takes to make a comeback of it.
Yeah, a few seconds and a minute to go in this first half. Ngezi Platinum, the other side that is leading away from home. And for Triangle, all they can do is try and find the equalizer. They have the second half, but will it be enough? Looking at their performance in the first 45, they have been trying to create the chances, but nothing to show for it. Here's another tap and goal situation, and unable to get to the ball. Limandeke bit to it by Mugariri Spencer, and they quickly take a throw in. They were not ready for it. Good short passes, poor communication. Jockey in the way, and then the last strike, rather disappointing. But they know what they have to do. And also they need to realize that the minutes have slowly gone away from them as we get a replay. And then the last chance to find the back of the net of the captain, Tabani Kamsoko, as we hear the whistle to signal the end of the first half. In your own words, take us through the first 45 minutes.
Well, the home side, they actually deserve a little bit more than what the scoreline suggested. I thought they had the better of the chances going forward. And then a rare mistake from the goalkeeper of a harmless corner by Simbarase Chinani, gifted Brooklyn Katumba. And Ngezi got the opener there, 1-0 up, but they would know that it's not over by the shouting. The Sugar boys, they're still spirited, they're still running hard out there, even in this heat. But it's a nice goal cushion to give Madamburo, and what matters at the end of the day is the goals. It's 1-0 up, but still a second half to come.
Yeah, second half to come. The first 45 ends. Ngezi Platinum 1, Triangle United 0. We cross over to the halftime analysis.
It's halftime here at Gibbo Stadium in the heart of Triangle, where the home team that's currently at the bottom of the table is taking on visitors. We've just found the back of the net, and we are just going to be looking into what has transpired in the first 45 minutes. And now we have the two men who are going to be helping us understand, especially what has been happening in the first 45 minutes. It was a very close score. We saw Ngezi Platinum starting off quite rather on the defensive, and then the home team were quite very expensive and how they were going forward. Very unfortunate not to get the goal. But after that, the fortunes changed and it was Ngezi Platinum from there on.
Yeah, just unlucky, to consider the goal from the mistake from the goalkeeper. I think they started brilliantly, Triangle. They were on top of their game in those early 10, 15 minutes of the game. And going on to Ngezi Platinum Stars, we were sitting back a little bit, trying to find a fit into the game. And then unfortunately, that goalkeeping error led to that goal that Ngezi managed to score. But towards the end of that first half as well, they were back in the game. The lacks of courage behind that midfield, controlling things, pushing on the pressure. Unfortunately, they just couldn't finish off the chances that they were creating. I don't think that Coach Genesis Mangombe would be too disappointed with that first half, only probably with the goalkeeper who made that goalkeeping mistake. And I was just quite encouraged to see them running off the pitch straight into the dressing rooms. And I think there's going to be having a very good halftime TikTok, trying to encourage themselves to come back in the game. I think they're still in it. I think they have been playing very positively, Triangle.
And if there's one thing that has been a summary of this entire season for up to match day number 24 is the goalkeeping mistakes, the goalkeeping howlers, and this game is no exception as well, as we have just seen the goalkeeper for Triangle making a similar mistake as we have seen the other top flight goalkeepers making as well. And you talked about it. And then the moment came where they had a corner kick there to defend a corner kick. Poor defending of the goal, and they led to that goal that was scored by Brooklyn Katumba.
I think a lot of things inside his head. I think into his head. Simbachinyana, I don't think he's a typical player who could have such a mistake. He's been in this stage before, but obviously, it's quite difficult for him. And even if you can see here, also Chang also had the same mistakes in terms of deliveries. It's very important. You're the last man as a goalkeeper, and you are putting the pressure. You are putting your team under pressure unnecessarily. And I think you saw it from the time Ngezi scored. That mistake from the goalkeeper, actually before he had accumulated 3, 4, 5 times, he was failing to deliver, just a goal kick or a bit, just to save his, it's difficult, as a goalkeeper. You make everyone into the game. Whatever you do, it's very important. Look at the corner.
And that is the moment of madness from Chinani that eventually leads to the goal. Brooklyn Katumba waiting, was just lurking for that mistake to happen. And he took no chance. He had the easiest option of any midfielder or any player just in front of goal, and he tucked it in quite well.
Yeah, it just looked like the goalkeeper almost had both hands on the ball that time around. It just slipped off his hands. Unfortunately, it does happen to the best of us, even in the most brilliant goalkeepers. It does happen. Just unfortunate because the team was definitely in it as well. But just one particular issue as well that we were picking up. It was the playing surface because the grass is too long. The ball has just been dragging. It's been dragged.
But this one was an aerial mistake.
Yeah, no, I'm just considering that as well. On top of that aerial mistake, I mean, there are some things that could have worked to their favor, but now they're now working against them. There's nothing you can do about that mistake. It has happened. You have to forget about it, and you have to now focus on getting back into the game for Triangle.
And then for Triangle, there were moments. They had so much position going forward. Their attacks were carrying so much threat. But it's just how they were being wayward in front of goal. There was a moment where Chang just threw the ball in front of Jogi. And this was the moments where he thought they were going to capitalize. They came fast and quick, those chances. But then this is the reason why they're trailing by a single goal to nil, failing to capitalize on mistakes.
Yeah, they're failing at the same time. They also have got the biggest obstacle is their field.
Yeah, of course.
Their grass, their home turf. It's not quite okay. The ball is not moving. You find players have to take 3, 4, 5 touches instead of a touch or a second touch you are in. But it's quite difficult also at the same time when you get the chance and the opportunity. Look at this one on Jog. It's just a control in the shoot. So many touches, poor first touch as well. So you ended up doing a lot of things, turning here and there.
Yeah.
But it's difficult, for players. It's basic thing, but you have to usually, with a good quality, good technique, you just hit once into the net.
And those are some of the chances as well. And then one thing that has been that has been recurring quite often is the set pieces and the crosses that they are delivering. Triangle failing to find the head of one of the tallest players on the field, that is Pedro. He is the tallest player. He's supposed to be the target man, but there's a little bit of hesitance. Even from yesterday's game, we saw that the forwards now they're reluctant in charging for the ball. They're not really up to it.
Yeah, probably not as much presence in the box. I think there's a moment where they probably got 3 consecutive corners in one area. I think Coach Ngezi Mangobe will be pleased by the fact that they've been creative in front of goal, not finishing your chances. And unfortunately, if you don't finish your chances, then you don't win games. And if you don't finish your chances, then you don't get the points. It's one thing to be creative all season, and it's the other to sit at the bottom of the log table for the lack of finishing those chances. So if you combine lack of finishing plus goalkeeping mistakes, then you're probably not going to have the positive results that you're looking for. But I think the halftime chip talk will be about encouraging the players to keep on going, but to be clinical in front of goal. I think it could have been 1-0 going to the halftime break. Unfortunately, it's still 1-0.
I think Triangle could be leading.
Yeah, Triangle could have had an opportunity to lead.
3-1. Because you look at them, twice Chang has been giving them the ball here in the 18 area. And also the other one, which was a corner kick from Chatulika, the one which was cleared off the line by the skipper for Ngezi. I think they could be 3-1. Yeah. You can see here, okay, fine, statistics, not so close.
But they do have really the better attempts, 4 as compared to 3. Ngezi Platinum are trailing. Apart from the chance they did score, they did go forward a little bit, Ngezi Platinum, but Triangle are leading in that regard. Then the shots on target, similar. And then the ball possession, you could argue about it because Ngezi have the possession, but the more threats are coming in from Triangle.
Yeah, and I mean, there's really not much to read on it in terms of the possession. And the good thing for Triangle is that they don't mind not having the ball because when they have it, they've made better use of it, like you are saying, Tendai. And if you look, probably really doesn't tell the story in the States because the attempts on targets and the shots on targets as well, probably not as much as how creative the teams have been. So when you get into that important 18 area, it's the decision making. On top of trying to make sure that you measure each and every pass because the surface is going to do one thing.
It has been a problem.
Yeah, we have seen it also before, as we were just seeing some of those highlights as well, how the ball has been dragging away. That time around, the goalkeeper doing so well to just get something on it, and it hit that right post as well. So Ngezi have been threatening, but probably Triangle have had the better of the first half in terms of going forward to attack.
And then the better of the midfielders. We thought Kamsoko was going to go head-to-head against, Madananga, Brooklyn Katumba, and as well as Marvelous Mkumba. But we talked about Marvelous Mkumba, but it seems like so far, no wonder why they have the lion's share of position, 57 as to 43. And then you're looking into Brooklyn Katumba, who has been your star player. You have talked at length about him. They've been winning the midfield battle.
Yeah, I think they are more composed in midfield. You see, I like the way Mutiogu Ziva implies this game towards, especially when you are in midfield, All the players are ball players, but also they've got an aggression. You can see also they are also opening for each other. They're creating spaces. The triangles are coming in. You can see that's when Marvelous is being marvelous in the middle. And with the help of Brooklyn. Brooklyn has been playing very well of late. I think this season is probably one of the best players at Ngezi. He's very composed with the ball. He's also very strong in the air. And he is one player who you're looking forward in doing the dirty work in midfield. And that's where there is a key. It's very important that Ngezi are controlling that department. There is Kamusoko and Courage trying by all means to at least generate some power and get the ball and win the ball, but they are not really utilizing whenever they get the ball, they are not utilizing it. So it's difficult, especially there in that department, where Ngezi is more of controlling than any other department.
Yeah. So now they do say that the first half is for the players and the second half is for the managers. And as we are going to be looking into other results of the games that are happening concurrently or being played simultaneously across Zimbabwe, we're looking into Caps United and FC Hunters, and it is the visiting team Hunters that are leading by goal to nil. And then Agama and Hard Rock is still tied at goalless. They aren't goals that have been scored. So these are the 3 games that are being played as we are here at Triangle Gibbo Stadium. Now, as we were saying, that the second half is for the managers, and Kaka Ngezi Mangobe is a brilliant manager. What do you think he needs to change coming into the second half?
Look, I think there's one thing you could probably not coach during a game, which is finishing in front of goal. It's just to encourage his players to at least make the best of the chances that they create. Forget about that mistake from the goalkeeper and focus on getting back into the game. I think they do have a way into the game with the kind of players that they have.
Okay, Chief.
Yeah, I think so far so good. He has created chances, but just continue. Encourage them, like Max is saying. Encourage them. Let's go forward and try to get an early goal, especially at the beginning of the second half.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the second half is coming, and we are going to be switching over to commentary, where they're going to be giving the last 45 plus additional time, of course. So please stick around for the second half. It's live.
Yes, the second half is upon us. What a first half. Ngezi Platinum's getting the first goal courtesy of Katumba Brooklyn, giving them the lead in the first opening minutes. Caps United elsewhere are trailing FC Hunters, and a draw at the halftime break between Agama and Hard Rock. Some changes coming in. Could be a double substitution for Triangle as they try to sort things out. Certainly, Urikob might be coming on. As the game begins, but for Ngezi Platinum, it is a 29-12 sacrifice. As we see fresh legs, Zavarevi Orlando stepping on as they get into the second half. Edison McDonald is the player that he just replaced. But also as it develops, 23-28, is this how it's looking? Limandeke might be stepping off, and now it is Reginald Ngazima who's being made part of this encounter. A must-win game for Triangle. Coming into the second half, they say this half belongs to the managers and the coaches. They have made changes before the second half started. Just have to wait and see if they're going to be as productive as they hope to be. Now it's a change in attack for Triangle, attacking from left to right. Ngezi from right to left. Hopefully there'll be a little bit more tempo, an increased tempo in the game coming into the second half. But Katumba Brooklyn remains the only player on the scoreboard here at Gibbo Stadium.
Yes, spot on, Sandra. The tempo has to definitely increase for the Sugar Boys. They are fighting relegation, and they are a goal down, playing at home with 10 games to go after this one. So no doubt the message from Genesis Kaka Mangombe would have been to spur his team on and urge them to keep believing that the goal is coming. But they're not going to get it like that, as Stephen Jogi with the stray pass. They're still vocal out there. They're still arranging themselves. They had chances in the first half, and they did finish the stronger of the two sides. Enough to still believe that they can find the back of the net. They did score, but again it was disallowed for offside. Close shot for a penalty, and still yet to open their account. It's a bit of a surprise because after having played against Hard Rock away from home, it's a difficult place to go. They are the new boys, but their standards and professionalism this season have been exemplary. So for Triangle to take the bus on the road and get 3 points from there just tells you that they are a side that can survive at this level. But they are a goal down, and they've only managed 3 wins this season. That's been the problem. 15 losses in total. So problems here for Triangle, but with the second half to carry on as we look at Kamsoko, the experienced captain. He looks like he's struggling. Just having a look at them, but they love their football, these parts in the low veld. They have seen this side rise to some famous wins, but I think Kamsoko is struggling. But that man, Mutuekuziwa, would have been pleased with that early goal. And is hoping that his side can see this off and collect 3 more points on the road.
We might be also seeing a change for Kamsoko, as will no longer be able maybe to continue the game. We're just waiting to see officially if there's going to be any move by the technical bench of Triangle. So it is a big game for the side as they try to survive, get ahead of some of the teams that are ahead of them on the log table, but not much in terms of getting the right numbers. Above them is Manika Diamonds, Tawan and Agama. Agama in their debut season, quite different from FC Hunters that have just come on board and trying to survive. They're not yet far out of the relegation zone. It can easily shift if they're able to find through these other sides in the red zone. But Scotland really did set up a new standard in local football, winning the title in their debut season. And this time around, they're at the top of the table once again. Flagged. And also there is that substitution replacing the captain. Stepping onto the board is Makue. Is coming on to replace Tabane Kamsoko. And there's another injury that is being tended to at this very moment. 50 minutes played. And you talk about that tempo in this game. Now also with the injuries coming in, it's getting more and more slower.
Yeah, it's the heat. It's been sweltering out there. Conditioning is such a key factor at this level of the game, particularly in these parts. It is taxing on the body to run up and down continuously. That is why you saw at the World Cup, the hydration break was introduced just to give a chance for the players to have a sip and replenish. But Triangle, they need a goal. Who's going to be the hero here for the Sugar Boys? Who's going to grab this game by the scruff of the neck and try and turn their season around?
And now it's a matter of gaining something, and is the one that has been put to the work. And it's a throw-in for the visiting side that is leading by a single goal to nil. Madananga with the throw-in. Katumba trying to clear the ball, but also being injured in the process. But play was allowed to continue. As Munsaka plays a part in this build-up. Courage. Bare was getting an assist. Makue is the player that has just been added on for Triangle, and already is getting himself involved in this game. Now it's on this near side. There's a bit of contention. Plays it out wide. And already they are turning and running. Zeka brings it in for Benedict Bera. Anxiously waiting for a goal. That seems like a far-fetched theory or idea that is not going to come anytime soon. As Ngezi Platinum get a free kick.
Yeah, courtesy of that man, Ngweha. He's been quite keen to employ the dribble penetration. Just putting his head down and going for it. It's been a handful for the Triangle defenders.
Yeah, some of the fans watching, enjoying the game in the shade, not feeling the heat that the players on the field of play are feeling. As you can tell by the shadow, that time slowly moving away in this beautiful city, town, Triangle, where there is so much to watch, especially the greenery from the sugarcane plantations. Another attempt delivered. Will we get a different result? Unable to clear on first attempt. They thought that Jogi was going to get to the ball, but Rwal's just behind him. The pass has to be exceptionally good. Ngezi are coming in and trying to steal those balls. If you make a pass rather reluctantly, and there's a booking. And we get a replay. What just happened here? Javarevi Orlando gets the yellow card for that challenge.
Yeah, I was just looking at Triangle's next set of fixtures after this one. 10 games to go to the end of the season for them. They can actually go on a run. They actually need to try and get something out of this. They go away to Manica Diamonds, a team that's also struggling. So a chance to pick up points there. And then next they're at home at FC Hunters. Go away to Tal 1 after that. And then Highlanders comes here on August 16. But it's just those 3 games before the Highlanders fixtures that you would have thought that they will be in with a chance. So they can turn this season around, but it's this fixture that they need at least a point or even better to stay alive in this Premier League. As Ngezi now on the break, needed a better service, but another straight pass.
And a quick distribution for Triangle. To be creative, nicely placed, but defended well as well. Coming in from close to the corner flag, Tawanda Chatuloka. 57 minutes played. There's a change as Polite Moyo has done his bid for today, but making way for Mashonga Nyika Blessed. And there's another change as well, a double substitution, as Karengesha Ashwin makes way for Monemo Tanaka. They're hoping it gets the team fired up. It's been on a good run for this side. hoping it brings in the energy and the firepower. Now the conversation off screen a little bit different, and an opportunity from the corner. Triangle could have been in it, finding an equalizer and maybe getting a single point, although at home. But that would suffice. Looking at their ability not to convert in front of goal. They need that goal. They need that equalizer quickly. You'd think that they'll take advantage of that home ground. And the temperatures, they are used to these temperatures. They might get the better of Ngezi Platinum. That does not seem to be the case. As it goes back to Chinani. Now they're no longer using middle of the park. Keeps it in play. Jockey goes for a recovery, but a block, and it's a throw in for Triangle. One they hope to quickly take Pedra. The small momentum that they have gathered, I want to capitalize on it. Gets it under control, Mukumba, marvelous. But a misplaced pass dampens the whole idea. A bit reluctant in clearing, Makue. Always that desperate attempt. Now they played it back. Now the final kick to just slow things down for Triangle United. Disappointed at this moment. They are at home and they would like to at least get 3 points, especially surrounded by the beautiful scenery that is around us. The trees and the sugarcane as well. Fresh air. If you like your primary school science, how to trees make their food. There's a delivery. And goes begging once again.
Yeah, they are really trying Triangle to try and find the equalizer. They had a header from close range, and Marion with the point blank save. They are committing numbers forward, Triangle, and that's what the game demands. That's what their season demands as well. There's another free kick with an opportunity to yet again commit numbers forward. Kinesis Mangombe with one eye on the clock. 61 minutes into the piece, and he just needs something to click in front of goal. Tell you what, if they can find the equalizer with time to play, we could really see them really going for the 3 points. And you can just sense with the momentum that there is late drama in this piece. There they are. The Sugar Boys attacking, giving it everything, playing for the badge. They're not prepared to relinquish their status in the top flight just yet. And perhaps this set piece opportunity can result in an equalizer.
Short-lived, an opportunity that they were not able to take advantage of. Another attempt, but the pass not good enough. But Jogi to recover. All they have to do is make a really good cross into the box. That's exactly what they've been doing. And Makue getting a very, very good opportunity. I think is one of the few players that has actually done something with an opportunity in front of goal. He's coming on fresh from the bench, but already you can see the difference in front of goal. That was a challenge. And you're seeing the goalkeeper down there, and there's a replay.
Yeah, Makue has been a useful introduction in the second half. Difficult technique to execute that. He went for it first time and blazes it over the bar, but he's been quite the spark for Triangle going forward. There's a bit of gamesmanship by Marion Chang, trying to slow the tempo down and allowing the medics to come on the park. Hopefully he's all right to carry on, but the fans, they're waiting for the home side to equalize and try and salvage something from this encounter. Their season depends on it.
Up and ready to go. Marion Chang could get a clean sheet from this game. Got one against Caps and Rentals. That would bring this streak to 3 in the last 5 games. 64 minutes played, and even elsewhere, as it were during halftime, it remains the same in terms of scores. As we try to cap off match day 24 in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. FC Hunters leading Caps, and still at no odd draw between Agama and Hard Rock. Might be seeing more changes coming on board. And the challenge right in the box. Makue stepping up, plays it in. Not yet far. And another call for desperation to clear the lines. Courage. It is the same man that they are trusting to help them create magic. Tawanda Chatuluka. But this time around, it's a throw-in for Ngezi.
Yeah, more changes. Mutua Kusiba relying on his bench for some fresh legs. It is a warm afternoon out there. Tinotenda Ditima, the new man introduced. He'll just slot in the midfield to just provide extra protection for the defenders. It's just in-game management for Madame Buro as Triangle still searching for that opener. And they do have more options on the bench, Triangle. I was looking at Talin Chawapiwa warming up earlier. Remember him? A forgotten midfielder who was part of that 2019 Zimbabwe national team that turned out at AFCON. He's a lively attacker. He has had a long injury layoff. But if you see him on the bench, you probably suggest that he's fit enough to play a part. So Mangombe does have that up his sleeve for some of that international experience if required.
Yeah, definitely always require the experience going forward. And it's another run on this near side. Disappointed at the end. Tawanda Chatuluka. They are trusting him, feeding him the ball a little bit more often now in the second half. He has the idea. Play it in. Place it nicely. Not too close to the goalkeeper. And maybe in that moment it was just the technique that was lacking.
100%. Sunrise needed better quality from Chatuluka, who latched on to the loose ball. But it's just the final delivery that let himself down. It's just not happening for the Sugar Boys. Just as I said, the equalizer.
That's the equalizer for Triangle. The home side celebrating. The man coming in from the back. And those are the celebrations as Triangle get the much required equalizer. And a bit of shaking of hands. And that's what you talk about. Pile the pressure long enough and you definitely get a goal.
Yeah, that's the one they wanted, the home fans, the equalizer. Might have been Aaron Zeka who had the presence of mind to latch on to the flick on, and first time header finds the back of the net. That is the morale booster they were looking for. It's 1-0 with time left on the clock. Triangle putting up a fight here in the Lowveld.
And that's the equalizer for Triangle. And there's 1-1 at this moment between the two sides. It could have been another one to get the lead for Ngezi. But Triangle have managed to find the equalizer, and the fans are showing that that's exactly what they've been waiting for. Some moments to celebrate. Definitely that paint hasn't gone to waste. But a new lease of life. And the goal scorer, Aaron Zeka, is the man on the score sheet on target for Triangle United. They are back. This is their home turf. And they have been trying, just maybe lacking that sting, that speed that we look forward to in any attack. But it has been effective. Now Ngezi, as they try to find a goal. And then taking it a little bit too high and missing the target altogether.
Yeah, fair play to that man, Genesis Kaka Mongombe, still barking instructions, still telling his charges to keep believing. And the equalizer came, and now, with 19 minutes to go, could have an exciting finish. Here's that man I was talking about, Talent Tawapiwa, lively on the attack. So Mangombe has thrown more attackers in there. He's thinking that a draw is not going to be enough in the bigger context of their season. Only 3 points will do the job as Ngezi try and conjure up an attack of their own here.
Ngezi stepping up to the fold. They need to find a reply as quickly as possible. They had done so well to keep the lead for the longest time. Now it's the dying embers and minutes of the game. And Triangle United have found the equalizer. Now looking at last additions to the game, as both coaches are throwing in all they have. And there is Motueku Ziwa, the coach for Ngezi, who has done fairly well. Looking at the fact that Ngezi, they are still under a transfer ban. Haven't been able to get new players on board, just relying on the arsenal that they had at the beginning of the year. And so far so good for this side. But Triangle United showing a bit more spirit now in this game. And that equalizer, that goal, has set ablaze the stadium, Gibbo. as the Sugar Boys get consolation for the efforts that they have been trying. But Ngezi are not done with them yet, as they try to get a good shot on target, but didn't come as expected. A little nutmeg along the way to success, but tracked back just a few moments in. Offside call. Some smiles now from the fans. A different view from what we have been seeing. But this is a different side. Triangle United.
They've certainly played well enough to suggest that they do have the requisite level to still be playing at this level, which begs the question, why haven't they been able to perform like this at the start of the season? And more attacking options for Mangombe, as the game's quite on the line here.
On the line indeed, and maintaining that pressure is Triangle United. But Ngezi still have a lot more to unpack, and that could have been an opportunity running forward, getting into space. Mangombe not happy with the defensive work, but FC Platinum, rather Ngezi Platinum, it's a mining situation here. It is Javarevi Orlando was moving forward to get at least a goal for the side, as they push through to get that lead once again. And mistakes that could be very, very costly, especially in the eyes of Mukumba Marvelous, who could have easily taken advantage of that moment to move forward. Makue, a new lease of life for Triangle United. Now it's a change in tactics. Jogi trying to get a header and change the tide. Makue could link up play with Pedra, but now they're dispossessed. Little bit of space, good enough space for a brilliant challenge, but being cornered. Now it's a corner kick. Disappointed, or rather excited rather, that is the coach. He knows more attempts like this can get them that lead once again. 76 minutes played, 10 corner kicks for Triangle. Ngezi only have 3. And they would want more of this. Litimba to Notenda by the corner flag. Now sounds of jubilation springing up. Will it be enough pressure for this Ngezi side to make a mistake? But play forward. But offside flag had gone up. He was in an offside position, that's for sure. Aaron Zeka, but wanted to get away with that one. And that's a reminder of how things are like on the scoreboard. Triangle 1, Ngezi 1 as the equalizer from Aaron Zeka, the man in question in this moment. But Katumba Brooklyn opened the scoring in this game. And the lady on the drum really setting the atmosphere for the Sugar Boys fans.
Yeah, there is life in Triangle. They love their football here, as Ngezi with an opportunity that finds itself in the back of the net, but the flag is up for offside. They're also trying to sneak in a counter punch of their own. Jawarevi, the man staying offside. But what hearts, what spirits from the Sugar boys. They might be down, but they're not giving up just yet. They have toiled hard all afternoon in this sweltering heat. And they managed to equalize and still pushing ahead. Tired bodies and everything, but they're still putting up a fight. Brilliant.
Keep the fight going, Makue. Headed out for a defensive run to gain a bit more space to distribute it forward and change the situation for Ngezi. But Triangle, especially in the second half, showing that they are the home side. Long throw in. It is still in play. Collect. Make a good 10. Zeka. Flights it in. Doesn't go too far. It's all about clearing. It hasn't been easy. About 11. Another lift. Jogi. And it could have been a different story altogether. Could have gotten to 6 goals for his side this season. As we get a replay. Brilliantly flighted in. Talk about that difficult technique. Taking it on first time. Have another chance. One-sided for the past minutes. Passed away by the goalkeeper when he could have collected. Triangle United. Just rotating the ball. Makue, ambitious. Caused a bit of a scare. Gets a bit of applause from some of the fans. 9 minutes and a few seconds to go. It is a 1-1 at this moment. But the fight from Triangle United is exactly what is being celebrated at this moment at Gibbo Stadium. Ngezi. On the charge once again. And a quick steal to get the ball rolling in the opposite direction. And the temperature is slowly getting down as expected. But the heat on the field. Triangle United certainly setting it ablaze. You know what has to be done, the task at hand. Charles have to. Chawapiwa stays on his feet. Little nutmeg in the process. Makue receives it for the second time and then a handball. But on his feet, he was pretty sure something was going to happen there.
I wonder if they got time off work. The man in the work suits working hard in the plantations, but they're inside to spur on the Sugar boys who've put up a brilliant fight. Just that never say die attitude. Brilliant to see. And for me, I thought Makue is the one that has been a revelation, as Ngezi with an opportunity and needed a better cross. But there they come again, the Sugar boys. Makue, man on the ball, has got them going on the front foot. So good change as Chawapio on the attack now.
Defensive error. Throw down in the box. But the ref was right in front of that occurrence. He decided that play must continue, and it has continued. As Ngezi try for a second. Player still down. And Mangobe not happy. He could have gotten up, so he thinks.
Yeah, that's talent Chawapio arriving in agony. I think is in trouble. He's had a long injury layoff, and Mangombe took a gamble and brought him on, wanting that international experience to try and find the winner for his team. And lots to ponder now for Mutweguziwa. He has to negotiate the remaining minutes as we have a look at that attack. Chawapio did well to cut back inside, but yeah, lost his feet. You can tell that definitely that left knee is a problem for him.
Now walking out, waiting for the call back as play gets resumed. He's looking at his watch. A few minutes to go of the 90 midweek encounter has amassed a sizable number of fans to come and watch the game. And action does continue over the weekend as well. For Triangle, it is a date with Manika. Diamonds for Ngezi, it is Hard Rock. That is their opponent for this weekend. But another scare, another ooh-ah moment that hasn't yielded results. Good control by Queenjo. Recently added on a replacement for Gwena Adam. Taking too long to make a decision. Now it feels as though the referee is the one playing, as some of the fans keep on calling for him. But he can clearly see what's happening there and how it's unfolding.
It's all happening out there. If you're a betting man, you keep wondering which way this one's going to go. The fans have been given proper value for money. Two teams that have contrasting ambitions, but they've really given it the all, particularly for the home side Triangle. The way they've performed, you wouldn't have thought that their side that are anchoring the bottom of the standings, as Urikop, the experienced striker, loses it, and a chance now for Ngezi to try and nick in a late winner here.
Late winner is what they are begging for. A prayer that they are sending to the football gods. But it hasn't been answered as of yet. Chawapio having a bit of trouble getting out of that space. There's another one.
Is there a plot twist in this one? Sandra, Genesis Mangombe doing all he can to keep his charges lit. There are still minutes left on the clock. A chance for a smash and grab perhaps for the Sugar Boys. That would really send the fans into a frenzy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, most certainly. They would like a good treat, especially at the end of the day, after having nerves all over the place from the opening minutes of the game. Bit of assurance is exactly what they need. But whoever gets to score at this moment, that's the winner. And that is for sure. And played forward. Plenty of space above the crossbar. But the water delivery, Sadni Urikob coming on in the second half. And he gets that opportunity, makes a good run in. Plenty space. Looks at the goalkeeper. Goes for power and effort. But it just takes it over the crossbar.
Yeah, brilliant run from the substitute, Urikob. That's what is in the side for. Needed a shot on target there. Needed to taste the keeper from that distance. But they keep coming, the Sugar boys.
Chawapiwa. Hoping for a corner. Ends up being a throw-in. It's all about proper organization in the box. That man, Chawapiwa, has been trying all he can to make sure that they aid one on the scoreboard. Getting a bit physical. All they have to do, the Tima, to Notenda, to Katumba. Now it's on that right side. Hoping for a cross, Munemo, Tanaka. Katumba once again. Is he the lucky one for Ngezi? Zeka, Aaron. Make numbers forward. Urikob was signaling for a pass that didn't come. Still have possession, Chawapiwa. Not really what you would expect of him. They could have rotated or something. 3 minutes added on the board before the final whistle is blown. Will it be a sharing of the spoils here at Gibbo?
Yeah, 3 minutes. There is time for a plot twist here. There is time for late drama. The Sugar boys still pursuing this cause, still fighting for their season. As Chawapiwa on the ball again, what can he do?
Very good question. Ambitious, powerful, just didn't hit the target. That is Mansuka. He has been trying, even coming from the back, to help out in the front. It has been a team effort for this side, Triangle United. And that goal by Aaron Zeka is the one that has given them a little bit of a bounce in their step. A little bit of affirmation that all their ideas are coming in the right direction. Jockey once again being blocked off by the goalkeeper. They are trying, like you said, there is still room for a late drama and a different plot twist.
Yeah, fair play to Mangombe. He did throw the kitchen sink to it. Even at halftime, they never stopped believing, the home side. And Urikob now fighting for possession. A minute to go in added time.
Now Urikob lays it on for Zeka. It's all about that proper communication going forward. Chawapiwa. Sombrero. And it's behind the net, not in front of it. But just looking at how this is panning out. Chawapiwa taking the spotlight after coming on.
Yeah, it's got a big heart. You can tell that he's really struggling with that knee injury, but still putting in a shift for his side, bringing in that international experience that led him to that 2019 AFCON as Urikop with the flashing header. Just going over the bar. Yeah, time is fast running out, but a thoroughly entertaining match for onlookers. Mutwekuziwa, to be fair, his side did sit back after that early goal and invited danger. And triangle and Ngezi. It ends all square here at Gibbo Stadium.
Yeah, that's how the story has developed from the first minute. A matter of exchanges. But it is equal. Take us through your analysis of the game from the first minute.
Well, it was a game of two halves. Ngezi did profit from that goalkeeper's howler, Simbarashi Chinane. He won't want to have another look at that tomorrow in the morning. But they never stopped believing, Triangle. They kept coming, and Genesis Mangome did make the requisite changes, and I thought McDonald Makue was the difference maker. He gave them that spark. And a well-deserved equalizer from Stephen Jogi to mean that Triangle do come away with a precious point. Could have been more. They had the chances to kill the game, but they'll take it. They're desperate for every point at this stage of the season, and a valiant effort and a draw against a very strong Ngezi Platinum side. And good entertainment all around for the home fans. They'll leave the stadium believing that top flight football is not ready just yet to depart the Lowveld.
Yeah, great football. Katumba in the picture there. He opened the scoring in the 22nd minute, and they held on to that lead for the longest time until in the 66th. That's when Aaron Zeka found the back of the net. Conversations at the end of the game as this one progressed quite nicely in Triangle at Gibbo Stadium in a very beautiful town of Triangle, surrounded by a lot of tea, sugarcane plantations, and lots of trees. Quite good to see baobab trees. Not often do you see them anywhere else in the country. But here, it is the beauty of this place. How lovely it is. And Triangle still hoping they get a point from the ones that they have had. And that means that they are on 15 points. For Ngezi, 41 points. Not too far from the agenda at stake in terms of the teams that are doing well at the top of the table. Ngezi now on 41, just a point behind Hard Rock, who are third placed on the log table. So it has been absolutely fantastic having you here at Gibbo Stadium. It ends Triangle 1, Ngezi Platinum 1.
After 90 minutes, it ends in a stalemate again. The same result that we saw at in the reverse fixture. 1-0 is how it stands. We saw the visiting team, FC Platinum, going and taking on the lead, and it was the home team that found the equalizer in the second half through 66 minutes. It was Sega who found the much-needed equalizer. And after the game, now we get to talk to the manager of the home team. It has been a very fantastic start since he rejoined a Triangle, the side that he knows quite well. Now, coach, good second half display. The team came out strong, all guns blazing. What was the message at halftime? What did you tell the boys to do when they came back for the second half?
Yeah, of course, we adjusted our midfield, and we said we have to play fast football with intensity and also use the overloads in the wide areas. So our wingers were now having 1-versus-1 situations and sending in some good crosses. But our finishing wasn't perfect.
And then there are moments where we thought you could have found maybe 2 or 3 goals at the end of the game. Is it something that you look at and say maybe that's where we fell short? You could have probably gotten the 3 points today.
Yeah, of course. I think we need to be clinical. Yeah, we created so many chances, clear chances. But you know, it's a game of football. it means we have somewhere to start. If we create those chances, and that is always what we want. We create chances, and at the end of the day, we need to bury. But I'm happy that we are improving every day.
Okay, and then, Coach, all the best. It was a good result, good comeback, and you finding the equalizer. So all the best in your next games.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. So that was Genesis Mangombe for the home team Triangle, finding the equalizer in the second half. Now we get a chance to talk to the traveling coach, that is Muti Uekuziva. He has been traveling with FC Platinum, with Ngezi Platinum, the team that is currently sitting on a fourth position. Now, Coach, started off quite well. There was a feeling that you could have found the back of the net maybe 2 or 3 times in the opening 20 minutes, but then that wasn't all that came into plan. When you look into those chances, do you think they are the reason why you are going home with a stalemate this afternoon?
Sure. I think we should have done better in the first half of the game, even part of the second half when it was about to end. I think we had the chances. I'm happy about the way they were creating the chances, that they should have at least give us more than one goal. But I cannot take anything away from Triangle because they were fighting also too. But us we believe in attack, and the attack did well. But what missed today was more goals. I'm quite happy with the way they've done, and also a point on the road. I think it's still okay for us.
Still okay.
Yeah.
And then, Coach, you were probably on the back foot in the last moments of the game. Would you think that's a lapse in concentration, or maybe the opposition just became they wanted it more than you?
Sure, the opposition wanted it more than us because of the home advantage, and you can feel the support that they've been pushing them more. They've been having a very good support to the boys. I think that on its own made a bit of some distraction to my team, but it's part of the game. You cannot be fluent throughout the 90 minutes. Okay.
So, safe travels, Coach, and all the best in your next encounter.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. So these are the coaches, the traveling coach Mutokuziwa with Ngezi Platinum. He says the point on the road is okay, cannot really beat himself around with it. So now we've come to the end of what has been a fantastic match day 24 here at Triangle, Gibbo Stadium being the venue, and it was a fantastic outing altogether for everyone who tuned in to watch this live broadcast of this game from wherever you are stationed. Has been fantastic to everyone who has made this production quite possible. It's also a good thank you. And lastly, the viewers and everyone, even the analysts who are besides me, giving you expert analysis. It's always good and it's always amazing. Remember, more games are going to be coming up this weekend, but so please do tune in. From myself to Nicemander and everyone at ZBC, we say goodbye.
Deliciously orange and delightfully pulpy. Grab it, taste it, pulp it. Minute Maid Pulpy Orange. New look, same great taste.
Mikaeli na ngoma taneniwa akatorwa moyo